Have you ever known someone who was just a source of light? The friend who always has the perfect, uplifting word. The coworker whose energy fuels the whole room. The creator online who seems to have an endless well of wisdom on healing, joy, or self-care. We look at them and we think, they have it. They have so much of that thing. Joy, strength, peace, confidence. But what if that very abundance is a signal? What if the person who seems to have a surplus of something is, in a profound and painful paradox, running on empty? Think about the comedian, the one who can command a room, bending laughter out of thin air. We saw this in Robin Williams, a man who generated more laughter than perhaps anyone on the planet. Yet, privately, he was battling a severe, debilitating depression. He gave the world an abundance of joy, while his own was being drained. Consider the advocate, someone like Cheslie Kryst, a former Miss USA, a bright light on TV, and a vocal champion for mental wellness and empowerment. On the outside, she embodied success and self-assuredness. Yet, in a heart-shattering revelation shared by her family, she was privately battling high-functioning depression. The person who inspired millions to live fully was herself losing hope. Her story forces us to look deeper. Psychologists talk about something called compensatory competence. It's the idea that we sometimes develop a super strength in one area to compensate for a deep wound or need in another. The person who feels profound inner sadness may become an expert in creating external joy. The person who struggles with self-worth may become a brilliant coach for others. It's not fake, it's often deeply genuine, but it can be exhausting, and it creates a facade that's hard to see through. There's also research on the caregiver burden and emotional labor. A study in the Journal of Health and Social Behavior found that individuals who are constantly in supportive roles, the listeners, the encouragers, the strong ones, are at a higher risk for anxiety and depression themselves. They are so busy replenishing others, they often have no system for replenishing themselves. Their abundance isn't a bottomless well, it's a resource that can be depleted. So, what's the point of this? Is it to make us feel guilty? To make you think you should have seen the signs? No, this is not about guilt. It is not your responsibility to be someone's therapist or savior. You are not to blame for missing signals that even professionals sometimes miss. This is about awareness. It's about challenging our assumptions. We assume the happy person is happy. We assume the strong person is strong. We assume the healer is healed. What if we stopped assuming? What if, when we see that person who seems to have an endless supply of something wonderful, we see it not just as their gift to the world, but as a possible clue? A clue that they might need a fraction of that gift reflected back at them. It's not about grand interventions. It's about a subtle, powerful shift. Sending a text that says, "Hey, I always appreciate your positive vibes. How are you doing, really?" It's asking the strong friend, "You're always holding space for everyone. Who's holding space for you right now?" It's looking past the role and seeing the human. Because the research and these heartbreaking stories tell us one clear thing. The roles people play in our lives are often the inverse of their private struggles. So let this be a motivation, not to carry the weight of the world, but to lift the veil of assumption. Check in on the funny one. Check in on the wise one. Check in on the always okay one. Don't assume their abundance means they're full. It might be the very proof that they're running on empty. And your moment of connection, that simple, "I see you behind your role," might be the single most important thing you do today. You don't have to have the answers. You just have to have the heart to ask the question.